Thank you so much for joining me today. I've gotten the question about Candida and high fruit a lot over the past, I think, couple of years. And I've been wanting to answer that in a video, and I'm going to do that today. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Tumi. I'm a medical doctor. I have been raw vegan for 8 years now on a high fruit diet. No issues with Candida. Helped a lot of people with Candida. So if this video is of interest to you, stick around. And I love making videos around plant-based living, raw veganism, minimalism, and holistic health in general, infused with my dance because I'm also a dancer. If that's of interest to you, consider subscribing down below. Let's get started. So the questions have basically been around the same thing. Should I be worried about Candida on a high fruit diet? How do I heal my Candida or treat my Candida on a high fruit plant diet? And I do want to say plant diet off the bat because even if you're eating high fruit, if you're eating a lot of animal protein, animal fats, that will be an issue for you with Candida. And the two main reasons for that are the fat that you're having, fat and fruit together, when you're eating that together, is a setup for increased glucose, increased sugar in the bloodstream, in the system, and that feeds the overgrowth of Candida, whether it's plant fat or animal fat. But the other issue with animal products is that animal products take a long time in our system to be digested, to go through, and that really impedes the healing process of the body. One of the biggest things I want to leave with you is that the body is a natural healer. Our bodies want to be well. They want to balance things in our body, including things like overgrowth of Candida. So if we're eating foods like animal products that take a while for us as human beings to digest, that slows down that process. So the first thing I recommend for anybody who wants to heal or treat Candida, get the animal products out of your system. Focus on eating unprocessed whole fruits and vegetables. And I say whole very specifically because while if you don't have Candida, if you're eating a plant-based whole foods diet where you're including things like juices and dried fruits, fruit juices and dried fruits, that might not be an issue for you if you do that sometimes. But if you're trying to heal Candida, I recommend taking those two things out of the picture. Fruit juices and also dried fruit. And the reason for that is that that becomes concentrated sugar. When you're drinking fruit juices, you take the fiber out of the mix, and fiber slows down the absorption of sugar. It slows down the sugar being released in the bloodstream. Likewise, if you're doing dried fruit, you've also decreased the hydration of the food. You decrease the water content, and water and fiber really help whole fruit in terms of decreasing release of sugar into the bloodstream. It slows down that process. And so I recommend doing whole fruits, high water fruits, high fiber fruits, and then definitely making sure that you watch your fat intake. If your overgrowth of Candida is pretty bad, limiting your overt fats. So even if avocados and olives are part of your diet, as they are with mine, you want to limit that during the time you're healing Candida. So that actually gets to the underlying cause, right? So overgrowth of Candida is fed by just too much sugar in the bloodstream, too much of that. But again, that does not have to come with a high fruit diet if it's done well and if you're eliminating processed foods. Most people I see with Candida are not coming from a high fruit, whole foods plant diet. They're coming from eating a lot of processed food, a lot of processed sugar and carbs, things like breads and crackers and French fries and other things, processed foods. So eliminating those foods or really reducing that, I would eliminate that. If you're working with Candida, take that out of the picture and focus on whole foods. The other thing you can do is to try to really improve your gut microbiome. So what I mean by that is supporting healthy beneficial bacteria. And that will help the process of healing the overgrowth of Candida. When you have enough good beneficial bacteria, that helps to balance what's happening in the gut and decrease overgrowth of Candida. How do you do that? Again, eliminating processed foods, cutting back or eliminating animal products, I believe, as well as making sure you're getting prebiotics and probiotics in your system. This happens naturally on a healthy, high fiber plant diet because fiber is rich in prebiotics. If you're eating things like bananas, that's also rich in prebiotics. You can bring in probiotics into the system if you feel like you need to with fermented foods. And you can also do that by having probiotic supplements. I prefer a simpler and more natural route of eating whole foods that are rich in prebiotics. And if needed, if the person, I believe, needs it, supplemented with a few fermented foods to help with the rich beneficial bacteria in the gut microbiome to heal the Candida. And one more thing I want to bring up is that with Candida, as a holistic medical doctor, the holistic focus, I want to talk about diet, but also I think it's important to think about things like your thoughts and your mindset, to really focus on giving yourself sweetness outside of your food. A lot of times people start giving themselves processed sugar because they're missing sweetness, what we call in yoga, sukha, in their lives. So how can you give yourself this sweetness and not look for processed sugar, processed carbs in your food, in your diet, to give you that sense of comfort? That's part, I believe, of healing Candida. So those are a few suggestions around Candida. If you have been trying to do this for a while and you're struggling, then consider working with a holistic practitioner to look at your entire biosystem, to look at your blood work with you and figure out what might be going on and support you. I do one-on-one sessions, holistic health consultation sessions. You can check down the link below. I also have a video already out around high fruit and diabetes, blood sugar imbalance, and how actually fruit can be helpful if done properly for diabetes. You can check that video out also. I'll leave a link out after this video or down in the description below. What else? My book is now available as an audiobook, and that talks about holistic management and healing of many issues. So check that out because I believe a holistic approach is definitely best. If you enjoyed the video, click like and consider subscribing. Share it with anyone you think might benefit. And I send you so much love. Take care.